I take you down, would you really hold me down and be your best friend?
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'll be taking you through my heavy leg day. So I've already done my dynamic warm-up. So my first exercise is always a hip thrust. It's very important, by the way, to do your dynamic stretches before you get into any leg or any body exercise. Really, it's very important to stretch before you work out. But anyway, so yeah, my first exercise is the hip thrust. I like to use this bench to do it. So this is the chest, this is typically where people do their chest exercise, but I like to use this for my hip thrust when the gym is less busy, because I find that the bench doesn't move back. So when I use a box or a standard bench, it tends to move back, but when I do it here, it doesn't move back, so I prefer to use this. So as you can see with the hip thrust, I like to put a band around my knees just to make sure that I keep my knees out. I start off with a light weight first. This is like my warm-up set. Like I said earlier, it's a heavy leg day for me, so I work my way up in weights and I reduce my reps. With the hip thrust, you need to keep your chin sort of tucked towards your chest, and you come up at a 90 degree angle. I like to pause at the top for about 2 seconds before I come down. With every rep that I do, even when I'm lifting heavy weights, I like to pause at the top as well. Right, the benefits of a hip thrust, you guys know, it's great for targeting that gluteus, all around your glute area. It's like the best exercise out there for your glutes if you're trying to grow your bum. It's an amazing workout. Give it a go. Even if you're a beginner, you can literally start off by just using bands or even like a shorter bar. You don't have to use this barbell. And you are supposed to keep your feet flat to the floor, but sometimes I find that my toes point upwards. So I'm supersetting it with a single leg hip thrust with a dumbbell. These burn, okay? They burn. I don't know what to say about these. The reason why I'm actually holding onto the floor is because, you know, the bench is quite narrow, as you can see. So I find that when I don't hold on, I tend to slide to the side. So you can do this on a standard bench, or maybe face the other way, so you have more space for your back. I'm gonna write down how many sets and reps that I did of each exercise in the description box, so you can get a better understanding. So like I said, I supersetted it with a single leg hip thrust for each round. So this is my third round, I believe. Yeah, this is my third round. As you can see, I'm still pausing at the top. So in my head, I'm counting 1, 2 before I come down, and I come down slowly and then I go straight back up. So that explosive movement there at the bottom, for you to come straight back up in. I don't know. Right, so this is my heavy, like the heaviest, so this is my heavy round. So with this, as you can see, I reduced the rep significantly. I think I do about 3 or 4 here, and I keep it slow and controlled. With any exercise, it's very important to keep it slow and controlled. Like, very form is everything, and I always try to make sure that my form is on point the best way I can. So then I finish off, so I go back to the lightest weight and I just do some pulsing movements for about 20 reps. it's like a pulsing movement, so you just keep it going for about 20. At this point your bum will be screaming. It will be screaming. As you can see, I'm just slightly on my heels there, my toes are pointed upwards. I don't know, that's just this habit that I have, that whenever I do hip thrust I don't keep my feet flat. I don't know why that is, but it's not compulsory for you to do this, to keep your toes pointing up. You're supposed to keep your feet flat. So these are front squats, but unfortunately I couldn't show you guys. I only had this little clip because where I placed the camera before, the camera was literally up my ass when I played back the footage, and I thought, no, this is not cute, I cannot be putting this on YouTube. So this is the only rep you see. As you can see, these front squats, they target your quads and they're a great core exercise as well. So I moved on to a tricep. So the first exercise were goblet squats. You don't have to place a plate on the floor, but I find that when I do, I feel it in my quads like crazy. So as well as my glutes, my quads scream when I place a plate on the floor. So the first exercise in this tricep is a goblet squat. You keep the dumbbell towards you and you go down as far as you can and you come straight back up. So I didn't have no rest in between these exercises, and then I moved on to a sumo stance deadlift with a resistant band. This resistant band is not compulsory, but I just wanted to use it today just for extra tension. And also it forces me to make sure that my form is right as well, because with these kind of resistant bands, it pulls you back. As you can see, it's pulling me back and I just keep going back forward, and yeah, it's great. So when you're doing a sumo deadlift, you want to come down nice and slow, keep your back straight, do not round your back as you're going down, you keep it as straight as possible and you come straight back up. And you should be squeezing on the way up. You don't have to wait till you get to the top of the exercise to squeeze. You don't have to squeeze excessively. You should be squeezing on your way up. Then I moved on to some reverse lunges. The reason why I'm using plates is because the dumbbell that I wanted to use was in use, so I just grabbed the plates and used it instead of waiting. So yeah, so these exercises I did them back to back, and then I rested afterwards, and then I repeated it again. So that's what a tricep is. It's when you do an exercise back to back and you rest at the end of the third exercise. I then moved on to do the leg press on the Smith machine. This exercise for me, it's a very to me, doing it on the Smith machine, I feel it so much more in my quads and my glutes. I don't know, you can use a leg press machine, it's not compulsory to do it on the Smith machine, but I feel like I have more full range of motion when I do it on the Smith machine. So you can do it either or, on the leg press or the Smith machine. And by this point, I'm not going to lie, I was getting a bit tired and my legs were giving way, they were shaking a little bit. And then I moved on to some hyper extensions. With these, you want to keep your sort of like your back hollow as you're coming up. So if you were using this for a lower back exercise, you would arch your back as you're coming up. But for glute focus exercise, you sort of want to keep it hollow as you're coming up, so like a C-shaped type of thing. And I like to hold the plate like that, or you could actually use a dumbbell as well, whatever, or you could use no weights really, just to practice your form. You don't have to use any weights for this. So my last exercise are some abduction movements using the bands. I just finish off with this. If the hip abduction machine is in use, I'll use the bands to finish up. And with these, it's plain and simple. You just open and close. That's the best way I can describe it. You open and close, and you should be feeling this in your gluteus minimus, like the side of your glutes, as well as your overall glutes really will be sore by this point. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this exercise. And when I do finish my exercise, I like to go on a machine. It could be a treadmill, a rower, a static bike, just to like cool down for 5 minutes before I do my static stretching. It's very important to bring your body back down to normal. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you guys in my next video.
Yes or no, how'd it go? Where your man? Do you got one on the low? Oh, you do? How'd I know? Born in 1994, you still a scrub, but I still don't think you notice how to love. But I gotta know that if I take you down, would you really hold me down? I'd be your best friend. She just wanna hit me with a quickie by the pool, and I'm like, yes, man. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The way you got me feeling for your body, you might turn me to a yes, man. 80 in a 40, I'm a nervous bitch, I'm flyer than